There's two pieces were trying their best to get away. I don't allow that sort of behaviour. Now, I've got to wind some tension up on that before I put everything in place. I'll just put a screw in there temporarily. There's a bit more to go together here yet. Let's see if I can make sure I get this sorted out. That's this rest position. Right, I want to get my sprocket shaft in next, I think. Okay. Of course, getting the rewind button off the base of the sprocket shaft was entertaining before too. Just looking at that sprocket shaft, making sure I haven't damaged that sprocket with my levering. Oh, might see if I've got another one. Some of those sprocket points appear a little bit worn. Well, I'm sure I was telling you interesting things before, but I got a card error on the video camera and I don't know what we lost. I've just put the screw in there in the shaft for the sprocket shaft, and I'm just going to put the rewind button on the base now. So I'll lubricate the spring. Again, I'm just using synthetic grease for that. Put the spring on the button, put the washer over the button and screw that in at the base. And I'll check to see that that's going in correctly. Yeah, that appears to be good. And I'll do that up with my pliers. That's fine. Now the rewind button. I want to get the lever in that holds that in place. In fact, I probably should have done it before I put that button in. Let's take the button back off. Put the lever in first. Take that off. There's its washer. There's its washer. We're in the picture? Yes, we are. Okay. So this is the lock lever that locks the rewind button in place when you press the rewind button until such stage as the film advance is moved again. And the screw for this, it holds it in place, was what snapped off when I tried to remove it from the camera. So hopefully its replacement will screw in and be firm. It felt alright. We're trapped under, so yeah, I've got that lever trapped under there. Let's get that. No. Why is that so tight? I think that lever's sitting correctly. That's not sitting very well there. I don't know whether it's at that spring that's out of position. Better investigate what's going on there. Yeah, that doesn't look quite right. Get another replacement screw. Let's try another one. That looks a bit happier. That's good. I'll get that spring swung over into correct position. That's good. Yeah, swing that back. I should be able to push that shaft through. I can. That's all in place. Now the rewind button again. Check that that's correct. The button presses in, yes it does, and it latches in place. Clear that up tight, that's good. Move that back. It drops down into position, it's geared correctly, that's good. So, next I need to get this lever on the top of the film advance. So I want to pre-tension the film advance. There. Of course it pops away again. I'll have to work at this. This camera is just telling me the battery's flat. I'll be back shortly. Okay, go back to pre-tensioning this film advance. That's the start position that I want to be in. See if I can get a film advance lever on the base of that to hold it in position while I'm getting the parts on the top. Why does that not want to sit there? I can get 2 screws in here. This will hold this in place. It'll keep that advanced tensioned up. That's good. It means I can get the piece on the top in place. And it does move smoothly, and it's nice and snappy in its action. It's a vast improvement over what it was. I'll apply some grease to this lever. And remember which way this went. Starts there, draws round to there. Okay. Something's not sitting square there. What's going on? Oh, that should be okay. I'll get this started and then I can roll that across. That's where I want it to be. Yeah. It's moving nicely. That meter needle, I was pretty sure I've been careful about that, but that meter needle's got a definite sort of twist to it or bend to it. That's may not be anything I've done, of course. I've been pretty careful about that. Let's see how we go anyway. So at the moment, what have we got here? That's all pretty good. I'm just going to put the base of the camera together, I think, at this stage. Which means cleaning off this. And putting the trims back on the base of the camera. I can turn my attention to, I think I'll fit the shutter after that, but the base of the camera first. That's what we need. See if this old adhesive will come loose with some naphtha. Can't say it's very enthusiastic. Let's try something a bit more potent. This is CRC Lectra Clean, and it's somewhat more energetic as a solvent. But generally you've got to keep it well away from plastics. That will do nicely. My base plate trimmed back in place. These are all nickel plated screws. Be careful to pick up the nickel plated screws and not pick up the chrome plated screws by mistake. That's the lucky last. The leatherette is here, and we'll need some adhesive. This has all been cleaned and degreased, so it should go back on fairly smoothly. I'm just going to start with a bit of paper here, I think. I don't want to get this adhesive on the front face of the leatherette. So I'll apply it like this. It's easier to be more accurate with your placement of the adhesive if you transfer it on a toothpick to the leatherette you're working on, rather than just putting a blob on the leatherette and spreading it out. Although having said that, that's my usual modus operandi. But it's fraught. You can easily end up with a blob of it on the front face of the leatherette, and if the leatherette doesn't agree with the solvent in the adhesive, you can end up with a bad patch of leatherette. Okay, it's an even cover. And I don't have any on the front face of the leatherette. It's looking good. Let's put that the screws back in the tripod sockets around. Now there's no back catch release cover on the retinettes. I save niceties like that for the retinas. So if you're enthusiastic and you had the parts, you could swap them from one to the other without any trouble. Film advance lever. Why is that reluctant to line up? Can't get that to go. That's better. It's very reluctant to pull into place that advanced lever. I'm not sure why. I'll do those screws up snug, but I'm not going to overdo it because that lever is remarkably prone to getting broken, as you could tell from the one that came with the camera. Okay, I've got to find a leatherette patch for the base because the camera didn't come with one. I expect I'll be able to do that. Just wipe this chrome trim from the top of the camera and put that in place. This is quite dirty. It's quite normal for there to be quite a bit of dirt and grime gets down between the top cover and the chrome trim here. Right. That can go on there. Get this bracket on. There's no strap lugs on this camera. The brackets only serve to hold the top cover in place. The other end, it's the same deal. The brackets only serve to hold the top cover in place. There's no strap lug extended out from the end as there would be on a retina. The shutter release, I suppose that could just about go back in. There's not